Good morning everyone. I myself Dharamveer Singh welcomes you on the behalf of the Somnath English Medium School. Students, today we are going to learn English text standard 8, a beautiful lesson that is the Summit Within. Summit means it is a peak. It is a story about one of the major who has been find out how much difficult it was to climb up the Mount Everest. So we are going to learn more about his experience. So let's start. Chapter 5, the Summit Within. Major HPS Ahluwalia. So it is a story about one of the major whose name is HPS Ahluwalia. HPS means Haripal Singh Ahluwalia was the member of the first successful Indian expedition to the Mount Everest in 1965. So in the year 1965, a group of people they have been decided to climb up the Mount Everest and they were successful. Among them, people, one of the men was HPS Ahluwalia. How did he feel when he stood in the highest point in the world? Let us hear his story in his word. So he has been experiencing his desire. But how was his experience when he climbed up the top of the Mount Everest? So what was his experience that has been mentioned in this lesson? So climbing the summit and then the more difficult task of climbing the summit within. Now the lessons get started. Of all the emotion which surged through me as I stood on the summit of the Everest. So surged means arose suddenly. So he's been experiencing his desire. He's expressing his desire that how was the experience when he was climbing up the Everest, when they were starting to climb the Everest. Looking over miles of panorama below us. Panorama means a view of a wide area. So when they were about to climb up the Everest, it was looking a very big. So a wide area was being seen in the front of their eyes. The dominant one of thing was humanity. Dominant means they all were outstanding. They all were filled with the desire of climbing up the Everest and they were been having a eager to climb the Everest. The physical in me seemed to say, thank God it's all over. However, instead of being jubilant, there was a ting of sadness. So jubilant means very happy. When they climbed the Everest, that time, first thing he did that he thanked the God that we have completed our task and they all were in a great desire of experiencing or celebrating their happiness. Was it because I had already done the ultimate in climbing? There would be nothing higher to climb and all roads after would let down. So looking from the top of the peak, everything looked completely small and they all were thanking the God that this task that no person it was not possible for an ordinary person to climb it and it was done by them. By climbing the summit of Everest, you are overwhelmed. Overwhelmed means overpowered. So when you are climbing up the Everest, that means you have completed one of the tasks, the major task that no ordinary person can do it. By the deep sense of joy and thankfulness. It was a joy which lasts a lifetime. The experience changed you completely. The man who has been to the mountain is never the same again. So here, now he has been experiencing that when they climbed up the mountain, they all were overwhelmed with the joy and the happiness. And when they came down, the ordinary person when they were before, and now after climbing the mountain, they were considering themselves away from the ordinary person. Means it was a sense of a joy and happiness among them. As I look back at life after climbing the Everest, I cannot help remarking about the other summit. The summit of mine, no less formidable and not easier to climb. So this HPS Ahluwalia, he has climbed the other Everest also, but other mountains also, but the experience of climbing the Mount Everest was completely far away and it was a great joy to climb the Mount Everest as compared to the other mountain he had climbed. Even when getting down from the summit, the physical exhaustion has gone down. Now after climbing the mountain, when they were about to come down, so as they have used the whole energy in climbing up the mountain, when they were coming down, there was an exhaustion. Exhaustion means a tiredness, means they were completely greatly tired after climbing up the mountain. I began asking myself the question why I had climbed Everest. Why did the act of reaching the summit have such a hold on my imagination? It was already a thing of the past, something done yesterday. Now, when they were coming down, they were full of tired. There's HPS Aluwalia, he kept on asking himself the question that for what reason he has climbed the mountain, because his body now has completely gave up, and he was not in the condition even to move one step also. So he started cursing himself that why, for what reason the desire came in him to climb the Everest. So different questions arose among him, and he was asking the question to himself. Within every passing day, it would become more remote, and then what would remain? What my memories fade away slowly and slowly. On one side, this HPS Aluwalia was even happy that he has climbed the Everest that no person have ever climbed. And on the other side, because of the tiredness, he was keeping asking himself the question, the reason why he had climbed the Everest. All this thought led me to the question myself as to why people climb mountain. It is not easy to answer the question. The simplest answer would be, as others have said, because it is there. So he kept on asking himself the question for what reason he had climbed the mountain. This question has even arose to the other people also. But the answer is one and only same, that the Everest is there. That's why we are been going to the Mount Everest. That's why this Mount Everest is been completely different from the other mountains. Its present great difficulties. Man takes delight in overcoming the obstacles. Obstacles means hurdles. So the man is known only and only because when he come back from all the hurdles, you also can earn the name and fame. But when you are, until and unless you are not been crossing of the hurdles, means you have to pass through all the obstacles, then only we can achieve the success. Same was with the HPS Aluwalia, as he has climbed the mountain. For that he had been passed through great obstacles, but at last he has achieved the Everest. The obstacles in climbing the mountains are physical. A climb to summit means enduring. Enduring means tolerance. So now climbing the mountain does not only mean the physical effort is required, but even the mental effort is also required. We require the patience, we require the tolerance. We have to be very calm when we are climbing up the mountain. So climbing to a summit means endurance. Persistence means tirelessness. We know that the climbing the mountain is not an easy task, so we have to be physically as well as mentally prepared when we are climbing up the mountain. And willpower, the demonstration of the physical qualities, is no doubt accelerating, as it was for me also. So when we are climbing up the mountain, we should have a good willpower, because climbing the Everest is not an easy task. So we should have a willpower that at any condition we will be reaching up to the Everest, and same was with the HPS Aluwalia. I have a moral personal answer to the question. From my childhood, I have been attracted by the mountain. So this HPS Aluwalia is been saying further, then right from the childhood, he was been having a great love towards the mountain. He wanted to climb the mountain. So his quality of climbing the mountain was been from his childhood. I had been a miserable, lost when away from mountain in the plain. So whenever he moves toward the plain area means the area which is suitable for the human beings to survive. So whenever he and his family used to move up to the plain area, that time HPS Aluwalia, he was all the time remembering about the mountains where he used to climb it. Mountains are the natures at its best. Their beauty and majesty pose a great challenge, and like many, I believe that mountains are the means of communication with God. So he believes that these mountains are the nature's best creation, and it is one of the things that we can meet up to the God, and it is one of the best way to climb the mountain.